Am I on? Wow. Hello, everybody. This is Paris Prokopis. Welcome to the Paris Prokopis Show on a rare Sunday night edition. Yay! Don't you love my audience? My audience is awesome. I love my followers and every stalker on the planet. All right. Happy Valentine's Day to you. I decided to share my Valentine with the ever so lovely Carolina, who will be on here in just a moment, and anyone else who wants to be my Valentine as well. I'm sure Delgado will be my Valentine, and so will Hilario and Darlene and everybody else who wants to join. It's been an interesting couple of weeks, and especially on Saturday yesterday when President Trump once again was acquitted in another sham impeachment trial. It is just he's 2-0 on beating the Democrats at their own game. So, well, without further ado, or maybe a little bit of ado, I'm going to bring Carolina on. Welcome to the show, Carolina. Let's have an audience for you as well. Yay! All right. Hello, can I hear you?
Paris.
Hey, I can hear you. So we've got Carolina and we've got Paris, and wow, I'm named after a city and named after a state. What? With neither of which is true, probably, but that's all right. Yeah, and Ed Delgado says, knock, knock. Hello, who's there? I don't want to have a knock, knock joke. It scares me. So,
yeah, knowing Ed, anything could be coming with that.
I don't want to know. Who's there? Owen. Owen who? Owen 2. Oh, gosh. That's
goodness. Bad. Love the dork factor here.
It's and a dog factor too. Hello, dog. So what does he think of all the impeachment shenanigans?
He's a lover, not a fighter. So I think he would just love it if we could just all get along and have a big old puppy pile full of cuddles. Instant antidepressant.
Well, that's not this isn't that kind of show, Carolina. I can't tell you.
Well, dog lovers know what I'm talking about.
I'm a dog lover, and I don't have one in my life right now, so I live vicariously through all my friends who have dogs. So it's been a while since you've been on the show. So how have you been? What's new and exciting in your life?
I think it was summertime last time I was here on your show.
I think it was.
I'm so sorry.
Time out. Here, I'll pull her off the show for a little bit. Okay. So anyway, you guys know that President Trump beat the odds once again. And it baffles me beyond all imagination. Okay. Is she back? No, she's not back. Okay. But it baffles me beyond all imagination that they're impeaching a president who's no longer in office. The whole purpose of impeachment is to convict the president in order to remove him from office, or her, depending on what it is. And I just don't get it. I don't know what they're hoping to gain from all of this. And then the 7 Republicans who voted in favor of voted in favor of what? Removing him from office? What does it all mean? Of course, no surprise that Murkowski and Mitt Romney voted to convict, but a couple of other surprises. No major surprises, but let's see, as I said on January 6th, the president bears responsibility for these tragic events. The evidence is compelling that the President Trump is guilty of inciting an insurrection against the co-equal branch of government. And that charge rises to the level of high crimes and misdemeanors. Therefore, I've voted to convict. This is Burr, Senator Burr. He's not running for re-election, so Toomey of Pennsylvania voted for a conviction. And for what? I don't get it. Oh, Carolina's back. Are you back? Okay. I'm talking about the seven deadly Republicans, like the deadly sins. No, but the Republicans who voted in favor of convicting the president. If months of lies, organizing a rally of supporters in an effort to thwart the work of the Congress, encouraging a crowd to march on the Capitol, and they taking no meaningful action to stop the violence once it began. First of all, he was still speaking when the violence began. And he even said peaceably protest. So,
yeah,
I mean,
and very motivational, as in any other politician from the beginning of time, to get people fired up for keep doing what's right for their communities, representing themselves and having their voices heard. Like, it's not any different than what people were saying even when, trying to have the election between the Obama and McCain, or any of these other ones that we've had in our own lifetime. It's been,
we've got to fight. We got to
for
fight.
liberty and freedom, and you fight for it. Well, you do it in a political way, but nobody ever superimposed this idea that word fight meant actually physically getting to it. But now I know we have, and I'm not really a pro tar and feather kind of person. I really didn't think dumping all the tea in the sea was really anything but rioting. I'm not really a fan, but nevertheless, Patrick Henry had a rather moving speech that had to do with, liberty or death. So there is nothing new under the sun. These people are just making that up. And then there was that statement that caught me out of what you read, where it said the work of Congress. I kind of did like a little does not compute, because Congress doesn't really get a lot of work done. Obviously, they have had chances to make things right by us, and they haven't.
Yeah.
Work
no
Congress.
kidding. I mean, they
don't work. They collect a check. That's it.
In a nutshell, and this goes people on both sides for that matter, but it's really frustrating that they don't nobody wants to get to the bottom of the allegations of voting improprieties, because we're not allowed to say the dreaded F word. There we get removed from YouTube and Facebook and everything like that. But
okay.
this is all because of that. And President Trump said, come down to Washington, D.C. We'll have a rally, and they're going to hear our voices, and we're going to peaceably march on the Capitol so they can hear us loud and clear. His whole goal with all this was to get the evidence heard in front of Congress.
Mm-hmm.
And those morons that stormed the Capitol ruined all of that. Yeah.
And there's like this element of, it was planned, and he had, said he was supposed to finish his speech, that this was all calculated. And I'm like, yeah, but by who is the question? And everybody's like, correlation means causation. Just because he's saying this isn't over because you need to be done right by with justice for the people, that's not happening. And then they go, and this other opportunistic group took advantage of that and went forward with some sort of stupid behavior. I really don't think people really believe that this was just a spontaneous action. That it
Yeah.
wasn't. They had T-shirts made. So
They
even
had
the
t-shirts
left
made.
people are pointing that out and saying, so this
Uh-oh.
was the plan.
We're
I'm like,
cutting out again.
yeah, we're
I'm
cutting
having
out.
so I'm having really choppy internet. Hold tight for 1 second. I'm gonna switch bands here.
Wow, you have bands.
Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Perfect. Okay. I just switched bands to see if that makes a difference. Every once in a while we get it here. But this was so spontaneous. You want to know how spontaneous it was?
They had
It was
T-shirts
so,
made.
yeah, but it was also so spontaneous that people decided, man, Trump fired me up. I'm going to go drive home so I can get my military style helmet and vest and all my military garb so I can come back so I can go storm the Capitol. That's how spontaneous
It
it was.
doesn't.
Bull crap. They were there all dressed up, ready to go.
Right, and the people that I saw that was wearing the T-shirts, it says MAGA, Civil War, or whatever. They were armed with nothing. They had a Trump flag. There was no weapon. It's like, how are you going to have a civil war with a banner?
This is the weapon.
Exactly. And that was
Anybody
the
who
point, was
dares,
to go have your voice heard. Peace, it's
yeah,
just
and these
everything's getting all contrived.
and the crackpots who stormed the Capitol prevented their voices from getting heard. That was the worst part
And
about this. I was so
and in
mad
my
about it.
opinion, that was on purpose. I don't think that was a
By
accident.
design?
Yeah, I think that was part of the design, and for the MAGA lovers to take the rap.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's all it was. And in my point, we just wanted voices to be heard. Look at the evidence, even if it doesn't change the outcome of the Trump election. Go back and look at it so this doesn't happen ever again. Because I guarantee Democrats, this is going to happen against Democrats too someday. Just wait. Turnabout is fair
Oh
play.
yeah. Oh yeah, no, there's going to be Democrats that behave badly after they lose an election. Wait, hold on. I think that's already happened.
Uh-huh. Remember the fires on election night of 2016 and then inauguration day?
Or who? I think we had someone of political or public figure saying something about if you see them at a gasoline station that you push back on them, you make a scene. That's
Beloved Maxine.
incitement.
Well, and that's the whole thing. Okay, let's look at this insurrection. It was a bunch of people going into the Capitol. A bunch of people were doing photo ops or whatever. A woman was shot and killed. And then someone got crushed to death. And there's some people that were beating a cop. These are not representative of the majority of Trump supporters. Whoever these people were, whether they were really Trump supporters or they were acting like Trump supporters or whatever. And I'm sure there's crackpots on all sides. Let's be real. But there were people. They're making it seem like everybody is was going to go in there, wanting to take over Congress and all that. If that was the case, trust me, we'd still be holding Congress today.
With as many people that was at that rally that didn't even bother going to the Capitol building, they were hanging on every word that Trump was saying and having like prayer fests and stuff.
Yeah.
All those people, they could have taken Congress and they wouldn't have been able to recover and come back a couple hours later and finish what they had to go there to do.
And there's no history of violence at Trump rallies. The only violence there's ever been at Trump rallies was incited by Democrats.
Protesters that arrived to disturb.
Yeah. These and this was even long before the BLM protesters and stuff like that. I mean, we remember 2016. I even wrote an article that was entitled, "Remember when the Republicans stormed Obama rallies?" Oh, wait, that didn't happen.
No.
that was the title of my article. Look it up back in 2016.
Well, mostly conservatives, they tend to be consistent and conserve things.
It's funny. I'm gonna grab a video snippet here. I gotta go through the advertisers yet. Bear with me. I'm gonna add a video. Okay, here we go. This is the Trump lawyer. It's about 4 minutes, so actually closer to 5 minutes. But guys, bear with me. You're going to want to hear this. This is put on Blaze TV. It's a C-SPAN feed. This is Trump's attorney. I don't remember what the guy's name is, but he uses the Democrats' own actions and own words against them. It was beautiful. It brought a tear to my eye. It almost did.
Aw, you're so sensitive.
I think I need a hug. Tito, get me a tissue.
Here.
Long distance hugs. Yeah, we're spending my Valentine's Day tonight. You and your dog.
Yeah.
It's actually Valentine's Day. So let's see.
But for me, Valentine's Day happens recurringly throughout the year. It's lots of love being had.
Oh, she's got a lovey-wovey-kins. They make such a cute couple too. I met him. He's such a nice guy. He's a good boy.
Yeah,
he's not a Greek, but he's a good boy. So, the doggy's going crazy. So anyway, I'm going to start playing this video. You guys, I don't know if you guys have seen this, but you got to see how brilliant this lawyer was. It was, I don't know. It was just really, really cool. Let me share audio, and I'm going to share this feed. And now we're going to go theater mode and play.
These aren't just niceties. I make no apology for demanding in your name, in the name of the Constitution, that the rights to due process guaranteed under the Constitution are adhered to in a process as serious as this in our national lives. The denial of due process in this case, of course, starts with the House of Representatives. In this unprecedented snap impeachment process, the House of Representatives denied every attribute of fundamental constitutional due process that Americans correctly have come to believe is part of what makes this country so great. How and why did that happen? It is a function of the insatiable lust for impeachment in the House for the past 4 years. Consider this.
I want to say this for Donald Trump, who I may well be voting to impeach.
Donald Trump has already done a number of things which legitimately raise the question of impeachment.
I don't respect this president, and I will fight every day until he is impeached.
That is grounds to start impeachment proceedings. Those are grounds to start impeachment. Those are grounds to start impeachment proceedings. Yes, I think that's grounds to start impeachment proceedings.
I rise today, Mr. Speaker, to call for the impeachment of the President of the United States of America.
I continue to say, impeach him! Impeach 45! Impeach 45!
So we're calling upon the House to begin impeachment hearings immediately.
On the impeachment of Donald Trump, would you vote yes or no?
I would vote yes. I would vote to impeach.
Because we're going to go in there, we're going to impeach the mother.
But the fact is, I introduced articles of impeachment in July of 2017.
If we don't impeach this president, he will get reelected.
My oath requires me to be for impeachment, have an impeachment hearings, and he's the scarlet eye on his chest.
The representatives should begin impeachment proceedings against this president.
It is time to bring impeachment charges against him. Bring impeachment charges.
My personal view is that he richly deserves impeachment.
I'm here at an impeachment rally, and we are ready to impeach them.
The relevant timeline in the House reveals the rush to judgment. On the day following the January
It gets better.
riot,
Pay attention.
The House leadership cynically sensed a political opportunity to score points against the outgoing then President Trump. And the Speaker demanded that Vice President Pence invoke the 25th Amendment, threatening immediate impeachment for the president if Mr. Pence did not comply with this extraordinary and extraordinarily wrong demand. 4 days later, on January 11th, 2021, the instant article of impeachment was introduced in the House. Speaker Pelosi then gave the Vice President another ultimatum, threatening to begin impeachment proceedings within 24 hours if he did not comply. Vice President Pence rejected Speaker Pelosi's demand, favoring instead adherence to the Constitution and the best interests of the nation over a politically motivated threat. On January 12th, Speaker Pelosi announced who the 9 impeachment managers would be. And on January 13th, 2021, just days after holding a press conference to announce the launching of an inquiry, the House adopted the article of impeachment, completing the fastest impeachment inquiry in history and according President Trump no due process at all, over strong opposition based in large part on the complete lack of due process. To say there was a rush to judgment by the House would be a grave understatement. It is not as if the House members who voted to impeach were not mightily warned about the dangers to the institution of the presidency and about our system and to our system of due process. They were warned in the strongest of terms from within their own ranks, adamantly, clearly, and in no uncertain terms, not to take this dangerous snap impeachment course. Those warnings were framed in the context of the constitutional due process that was denied here. Consider the warnings given by one member during the House proceedings, pleading with the other members to accord this decision the due process the Constitution demands. This is Representative Cole of Oklahoma. With only 1 week to go in his term, the majority is asking us to consider a resolution impeaching President Trump. And they do so knowing full well that even if the House passes the resolution, the Senate will not be able to begin considering these charges until after President Trump's term ends. I can think of no action the House can take that is more likely to further divide the American people than the action we are contemplating today.
Anyway, he uses their own words against them. He uses that's just the clip I wanted to show. There was one where he was showing them all talking about their own inciting of violence and stuff like that. Or also, remember years ago when President Trump said there were good people on both sides with the Charlotte situation and all that stuff. Yep. But they never, ever, ever include the whole thing in process where he says, except for the white supremacists, those are bad people and should always be condemned.
Yeah. And there's actually a video that one of these fellows I follow on Instagram, he made a side-by-side video of what was officially offered by the managers at the social media or at the mainstream media, and then the actual footage from beginning to end. And they would side-by-side video reel and show that, okay, now they've stopped the tape on what the mainstream media is playing, but there's this chunk of time that keeps going that has more of what he is describing as inappropriate and unacceptable. So they leave all that content out and then pick up where they want to continue to paint this picture in the editing. And I mean, that's simple. That's old school vintage shit right there. Oops. But they will be, they're going to be doing more of these things, and deep fakes is part of it. It's scary what direction things are going to go, and they can change people's speeches and make it look like they're actually saying it. And I don't know. I've seen some interesting prototype videos where we could see that being part of the future, and then how would that incite a crowd, you know?
Oh yeah.
Having this
when they show
all you gotta do is
President
edit
Trump's
it
own
just
speech.
right. Yeah, edit just right. So all these months where, you know, from Memorial Day, the week of Memorial Day, all the way through all summer, we had fires of mostly peaceful protests and issues there, people dying, and communities basically determining who is inhuman and not worthy, and tearing their world apart and ruining them for months on end. And these people in leadership that don't like that kind of behavior or words are the ones doing the, hey, get behind them, let's march with them, let's kneel with them, let's no, I've had
oh yeah. Here, let me show you this. This is some of the video you were talking about. Yep, it is absolutely hypocritical. Watch this.
We have
spit it out, Paris.
That the House managers created false representations of tweets, and the lack of due process means there was no opportunity to review or verify the accuracy. Consider these facts. The House managers, proud of their work on the snap impeachment, staged numerous photo shoots of their preparations. In one of those, Manager Raskin is seen here at his desk reviewing two tweets side by side. The image on his screen claims to show that President Trump had retweeted one of those tweets. Now, members of the Senate, let's look closely at this screen, because obviously Manager Raskin considered it important enough that he invited the New York Times to watch him watching it.
Oh, man.
Wisconsin homeowners, do you have questions about
Sorry about the ad.
to find direct answers?
There, skip ad.
Now, what's wrong with this image? Actually, there are three things very wrong with it. Look at the date on the very bottom of the screen on Manager Raskin's computer screen when we zoom into the picture. The date that appears is January 3rd, 2020, not 2021. Why is that date wrong? Because this is not a real screenshot that he's working with. This is a recreation of a tweet. And you got the date wrong when you manufactured this graphic. You did not disclose that this is a manufactured graphic.
I love that. You got the date wrong when you manufactured this graphic. That was awesome.
That's great. Well done. I'm impressed.
Yep. Well, there's more of it too, where he showed videos of them doing that, where they play stuff, the full context of President Trump, and I'll play that later with that whole. It was interesting when he did that Charlotte thing, because he played where they cut it off. Those are good people, and he left it at that. And of course, except for the white supremacists, they should be condemned. Yeah, except for that last part. And the lawyer even said, I am certain this is the first time that the media has actually shown the entire clip, because they're all showing the impeachment hearing.
Right.
I'm sure they
cringing.
I'm sure they fact checked him or something. It's just
right. Oh yeah, because yeah, I feel like anytime I get a Snopes link in a comment, it's kind of indicating, okay, that's reassuring. I'm on the right track. Yep, that was confirmation. Thank you so much. If you're going to fact check me with a Snopes, oh, baby.
The problem is nobody's fact checking the fact checkers. And the fact checkers are putting their point of view forward. So they feel that they have they're justified in their point of view. Mm-hmm. I'm sure somebody will say, well, he didn't manufacture it. It was already falsified or something. They'll try to sugarcoat it.
Watermark clearly states it came from some other department.
Another one. Owen who? Owen 2. That Owen. Okay. Just for that, Earl, I got to play one more really quick video, then we'll be done with videos for now. I know it's a pain in the butt, but hey, I like to share my screen here.
You're so generous.
I want to share with everybody because I'm good enough and smart enough, and doggone it, people like me. Enough. Okay, here we go.
Oh yeah. I saw you posted that on your Facebook page.
So yeah, I had to. It is absolutely. It's exciting, but I can't wait till March's impeachment hearings.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Well.
Whoop. Sorry. My videos are still playing.
Well, I'm thinking this is like it's really kind of nice to actually have a situation where you have it actually on paper documented that there was not sufficient evidence to get enough votes. It's like, okay, proof is in the pudding. Now, moving forward, even before they did their decision making, um, the people that you thought were not your typical Republican, that maybe they were more of a newer breed, or somebody that actually has their heart in the right place and they were working well with the administration, and now have kind of, well, we all kind of have to brace ourselves. We should have been ready for this, but they're all trying to distance themselves from Trump, like Nikki Haley,
What
some of
has
these other
happened
people.
to her?
I think she has plans for the future.
Well, she
It's
she do-
CYA.
well, she does, but she doesn't realize she's guaranteeing that she will not be the nominee.
Well, yeah, I think it's a misguided attempt to preserve her future. I don't think
Which-
it's deliberate. I don't think it's
After
malicious.
all
I
that
think
she
it's
put-
just calculated wrong.
Right. But after all that she put up with when she was working for the president as the ambassador to the United Nations, and I'll be the first to say she did an amazing job there.
Yeah.
And and in the end, I'm thinking we have the opportunity. The one thing that this impeachment did, it's showing us the ones with the true colors.
Sure it did. Yeah.
We know which senators are a problem. I'm not really surprised at Collins. For someone who endured so much with the whole Kavanaugh thing, and she actually ended up supporting Kavanaugh, to then do it. I'm not surprised with Murkowski. I'm not surprised with the idiot from Tomey from Pennsylvania. And so they got 7. They got half of what they needed. That's why they're going to try another impeachment in the near future. I'm guaranteeing they're going to try another one. And it doesn't make
Doesn't
sense.
he have to hold office to be impeached?
That's the whole point. Impeachment is to remove someone from office. It doesn't even convict them. They don't have the power to convict anybody. He's guilty of these crimes. He's removed from office. That's the role of impeachment. The role of impeachment, and then the courts then try the person once they're a citizen if there's a crime committed. Well, there was no crime committed, according, so you need 2/3 in the Senate.
Yeah, well, yeah. And the other part of it is the purpose for an impeachment is to remove from office and prevent being able to fill another future position in office.
Yeah,
it's not or. It's not.
I gotta read the Constitution on that.
They come together. It's a package deal, like salt and pepper, and that's the point.
Impeachment removes them from office. I don't think it prevents them from running again.
That was that's part of it. Yeah, it's like the penalty of being impeached. Not only are you removed from office, but you're also banned from being able to hold future office. That's why they were going for so hard to have that hearing out, even though he was already gone.
No, I think they were trying to get him out of. They're trying to get him out of it, so they don't have to pay for his Secret Service and all that. He would lose all his protection.
Okay, so he wouldn't even be treated as a former president anymore.
Right, exactly. I don't think they're prevented from running again.
Yeah. It's in there.
I gotta check.
I'll let you do some homework on that, Paris.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that. Provides the president shall not be removed from office on impeachment for or in conviction of treason, bribery, other high crimes and misdemeanors. But it says nothing about the timing of when the impeachment and trial may take place. Okay, blah, blah, blah.
Right. So it's
I'm
not
looking
in
at something.
the Constitution.
Here, let me do this.
You can't say it's, well, it's not in the Constitution that you can.
That's the whole point.
It's not in there. So you can say it's not unconstitutional because it's not in there.
Let's see. When removed?
Their base, like the people on the ground, the people that like really are anti-Trump, that
Here it is.
they're just
Yep.
regular neighbors side by side, are
If he's
pissed
removed
today.
If he's removed by 25th Amendment, he can run again. When removed through the 25th Amendment, the president is not disqualified from running again. If removed by impeachment or an impeachment conviction, it depends. When impeaching someone, Congress does have the authority to disqualify that person for future office. However, there have been occasions when Congress has decided not to disqualify someone for future office. If the president were to be impeached and convicted, his ability to run in 2024 would depend on whether Congress decided to disqualify him.
And you think that Congress wouldn't disqualify him?
They totally would.
Totally would. And that was the purpose. That was the point of doing it, even though he was already gone. That's their goal. So they are hoping not to deal with him in 2024. They were just trying to clean the house. The swamp was trying to refill.
Right. And let's be honest, everybody's using the wrong language. He was impeached. They impeached him. The House impeaches. The Senate convicts and removed. So he was not convicted. Everybody's saying, oh, he wasn't impeached. He was impeached. He was impeached twice. And he beat it twice.
Acquitted twice.
I love it.
Twice. So the other part of it isn't there supposed to be a justice that presides over that hearing? And when there isn't one, is it really a trial? Have they actually satisfied that part of the whole process? Are we going to get to revisit this and have here, it's a procedural thing, try one more time?
Well, I have to give Roberts credit. He said, I don't have standing to preside over an impeachment of somebody who's not in office. I mean, it's
right. And there was no crime.
Well,
what crime is there? He was talking. It's First Amendment right.
Of course. But, basically the Democrats, this is their logic. Trump must be impeached and removed.
And anybody that is tooting his horn are part of a cult.
Right. But why should he be impeached and removed? Because they say so. That's it. No other reason.
That sounds pretty fascist to me.
Yeah, exactly. It is very fascist. Oh, we said another F word. We got to be careful. Check this out. Boom, boom. Back-to-back impeachment champion. Yeah, I'm gloating. This video is probably going to get... This video is going to get removed from YouTube. I guarantee it.
Is it all because of my glorious, beautiful face?
Yeah,
I doubt it.
That might be the only thing that saves it. So, but it is... I don't know. It's going to be an interesting rocky road the next few months. And now you got some crackpot that showed up at the White House today that they had a message for Joe Biden and they were armed.
Well,
there's
that's been
stupid
happening.
People. Yeah, I don't know who the
person made it on the news. You know how often that happens?
Yeah, all the time.
I was a contractor for the DOD and the Department of Defense, and I worked at the site. Yeah, and so we had people that thought that Pennsylvania Avenue was breachable, so they could go make sure that the president received Jesus and stuff. I mean, there's nothing wrong with evangelizing to our leaders, but you can't go on a one-man lone wolf mission to scale the fence and go pray for him.
Yeah, and I'm telling you, if any of you are Trump supporters, don't do it. It's stupid.
It's ridiculous. So, but what I'm saying is, there's people that have needs that are going off tilt, and they need support and help, and that's how they get arrested. They get that because they get arrested because they do something really weird. This just happened to make it to the news. I don't know why. They can leverage it for the story that they want to spin. The left wing side of things is all mainstream media. And while they're trying to say that they're objective, they're clearly not. They're very biased. They're an extension of the Democratic Party in many cases. So balancing that out with with some form of resource alternative to that, who might actually be a provider of news that owns their bias, like saying outright as their slogan, the fastest growing conservative news network in America. It's like plain as day. You won't see that on mainstream media. The legacy of being left leaning will not be their slogan. They're going to try to say it's not and then act like it does. And, oh, nothing to see here. We're objective news media.
I just want people to report, and I want the media to actually investigate things. You know what? They could have investigated this. Yeah, like they would actually perform a blatant attempt at journalism. That would just be awesome. But it really gives them. It gives me pause to wonder: is journalism completely dead? They don't investigate. They don't do anything. Someone's accusing the president or the president is accusing his opponent of cheating in the election. Okay, investigate it. Find out. Prove him wrong. If that's the case, why don't the Democrats? They could have, if people like me would say, okay, I completely accept Joe Biden as president. He won. Trump lost. I'll get over it eventually, but it is what it is. But nobody gave them that. He could right now. Biden is a ship without sails. He basically can't govern everybody. Half the country, and that's 75 million people is a lot of people, are basically saying he's illegitimate. This isn't just a group of people like what the Democrats are saying. Bush was illegitimate in 2000. They were saying that he was illegitimate because his brother gave him the election in Florida, blah, blah, blah. And it was just a handful of people. It wasn't really everybody as a whole. But now you got millions of people saying this. Biden's in real trouble. And that scares me because the Democrats will end up removing him from office. They'll evoke the 25th Amendment on him. And then look what we're stuck with. Kamala. And God only knows who her vice president would be.
Boy,
that's scary, huh?
Yeah.
I know. Don't want to rain in your Valentine's Day parade.
Quick, tell me something that'll make me happy.
Okay, here, I'll tell you. Here's a real famous quote here.
Chewbacca. Thank you. That did the trick.
And I agree. That was very profound. Maybe a little profane, but that's life. Well, hopefully, I think ultimately
he has his handlers. Even though he's a ship without sails, as you see, it's gonna be like Weekend with Bernie for as long as possible, because if they somehow get him out of there for however way, oh boy, they need to do it very smooth and do it very well, and they may have to drag it out for a while. He's a puppet. Everybody knows it. He didn't even campaign. It's all
I know. How do you not campaign and get 80 minutes? Yeah. How do you not campaign and get 80 million votes? Yeah. That dog don't hunt, to quote Ross Perot. Yeah. Right. Earl says, we can bitch about the media all we want, but it won't fix anything. It won't change. Our conspiracy will always be a conspiracy to them. We need to do more than bitch. And I'm not sure what you're getting at, but we need to start getting involved. We need to start running for local offices. Oh, I got to clear my throat. Yeah. There she goes. Uh-oh, Carolina, what are you doing? I embarrassed her. She disappeared. Carolina. Uh-oh, she froze up. Her phone. Uh-oh, she froze up. All right. But anyway, yeah, we definitely need to do more than just bitch about things. Yeah, she's gone. Uh-oh. So, but anyway, she'll be back. I think she's trying to get back on here. So, but yeah, we need to start running for offices, local offices. We need to start writing articles and everything like that. Send letters to the editor. Start getting our vision out there for people to see it. 74 million people forgot about how the election was stolen and need to keep pressure on their lives. Yeah, absolutely. And I think we need to. And whether, at this point, whether it was stolen or not, there was plenty of evidence showing that there are things going on that need to be looked at. Otherwise, we're going to have the same issue all the time, and nobody will have faith in our elections. Nobody. Yeah, they should have done that. And they didn't do it. I agree, Shell. It should have been presented when they had an audience that was rather large. I don't know. Excuse me. I don't know what logic there was behind that, or maybe there was a chance that, 7 other Republicans would have flipped, or 8 Republicans would have flipped. I doubt it. But honestly, I don't know. It was a missed opportunity, but the Republicans are known for missed opportunities. We had opportunities to change voter ID law in the state of Wisconsin when we first created the law, but we failed at it. It was, we got a little bit of voter ID, but they didn't do anything to address the students voting in the state who were just attending college here and stuff like that. We're always a step behind. The Democrats put marijuana on the ballot in 2018, which helped Evers win. Yeah, there's some questions as to where those 40,000 votes came from in Milwaukee at midnight, 1 o'clock, a late night ballot dump. Sound familiar? And stuff like that. But we should have known then, and we did nothing to address it. We've had 2 years. So the Republicans are always doing this. So it looks like, and I'm going to see what other comments are here. I believe Biden gun take becomes a reality. People open their eyes, more and more patriots will take a stand. Well, this is the whole thing. He's saying we got to do something about, making it harder for people to own guns, blah, blah, blah. And then we got that crackpot law from the senator or congresswoman from Texas, basically saying that I need to go to my ex-wife to get permission to buy a gun, things like that. It's crazy stuff. GOP on a daily. Ask me for donations. Don't donate to the GOP. Donate to individual candidates. I've been saying that for over a decade. I never, ever, ever, ever donate to the GOP. The only thing I ever did was pay my annual dues. Yeah, because the establishment Republicans are still in charge now, and that's slowly ending. And we are doing everything we can to beat them. That's a problem, El Delgado. Yes, Biden is going to be a great gun salesman, just like Obama was. And unfortunately, it's going to take a bit. It's going to take a bit. And we got to start voting these idiots out of office. There is a Republican Party caucus here in Milwaukee County. I don't know whether caucuses are happening around the state and everything like that. You've got to get leadership change here in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. It needs to happen. So Matthew, I don't know what you're saying. I don't know if there's something wrong with my camera. Are you guys seeing me? I'm seeing myself online here, so I don't know. So Caroline is trying to get on. She just private messaged me. Uh-oh. Let me get you a new link. Let's go invite. Copy to clipboard. And we will see. Technical difficulties with Carolina. Let's try this again. Dogs and cats living together, mass hysteria. Yeah, I'm reading the comments. I'm reading. Looks like she's connecting again. He's slapping me on here. Yes, Milwaukee County does need new leadership. Absolutely. Add to stream. All right, Carolina is back.
Hi.
Yep,
I'm back.
Well, you're only going to be back for about 6 minutes because the show's almost done, but at least you're back. I don't know what happened. All of a sudden you disappeared and then everything just died.
Yeah. The dog laid down on all my wires and it was the end of that. He laid down and
you got to love it.
He hit a button on, I don't know. Everything's gone down, but I'm back. So what that comment was when I dropped off was about not
running
just
for local
JC.
office.
Yeah. I think he's absolutely on this.
Tell people what you're doing.
Yeah, I'm running for local office. It's a
what are you running for?
A nonpartisan position for district school board here in the city that I live in. I live in West Dallas, Wisconsin. So
Okay,
there's
West Dallas, Wisconsin.
Yeah, there's 3 seats open every year. So this term, I'm running to have a 3-year term. It's my first time. I was honored to be approached with the idea to do it. First, I think a school board member had noticed me, the current school board member, and she was pretty she's very observant, very kind of quiet and calculated and very strategic, and she was paying attention to me. And then out of the blue, an alderman contacts me and says, "Hey, why don't you think about running for school board member?" And I really had to ask some questions. What made you think that I could or would? I don't really have time for arguing with people anymore. That's why you don't see me much on the different pages and stuff. I have a whole lot on my plate. So I go, why me? What made me come to mind? And he said that your heart's in the right place. You have your head is on your shoulders. You know what's at stake. You have vested interest in the game, and you understand how it's actually supposed to be. I'm like, well, that's an honor. Thank you for noticing that. So with a little encouragement, and I said, well, I'll have to think about it. And I went over the weekend, thought about it, prayed about it, spoke to some companions and friends that I knew I could confide in, and you were one of them, Paris. While I was considering running, just picking brains. This wasn't something I wanted to enter into lightly, because once I commit to something, I kind of obsess about it.
All right. Well, and that's the whole thing. And I thank you for running, and I think more people should do it. One of these days I'll put my money where my mouth is, but I'm also the informant. I'm out there informing people, doing everything I can all over the place.
You are making a difference with the way that you serve.
Yeah, I'm oozing my Greekness all over the community. So
yes, you're journalisming all over the place.
Yes, absolutely. Well, Carolina, I'm going to thank you for joining my show tonight. I haven't seen you in a while on the show. I've seen you other times, but say hi to you know who.
I sure will.
And the rule is I still get to walk you down the aisle. So there. Okay.
I know.
If he's watching right now, he just took a massive dump. But anyway, so he's like, "Oh no!" So you have to meet the quota. Come on. Okay. The Greek quota.
Okay.
All right. But I appreciate you coming on. Yeah, and it's always fun getting other opinions, especially, I mean, you're a late convert to the Republican side too, so that works out really well as well. So
I walked away in 2012 when Benghazi happened. I was over. I was done, tapped out.
That was
no, I'm done with them.
all right. Well, now I'm kind of I'm without a party, so I'm doing everything I can to change the party from within. I'd rather not do a third party, but if that side wins, if the Lincoln Project idiots, and I pay attention, look up at all the stuff that's happening with the Lincoln Party morons. You're talking pedophiles, you're talking all kinds of crazy stuff happening with these people, these anti-Trump perfect Republicans. Yeah, there's some real issues there, and they're trying to take control of the party, the Paul Ryans of the world too, and all those type of things. If they win and they take over this party, the party is done. I guarantee it.
Swamp creatures are swamp creatures. It doesn't matter what party they're in. And that's kind of where I lie. I'm a bit of, center right, a little bit. I'm very old school liberal, like 1776 style.
Oh, so you mean like a classical liberal?
Yes. Now, the thing people need to understand is the power comes from the people, for the people, by the people. So that's why we do elections. That's why we have people representing us. That's what I intend to do, and I take oath of office.
We have to trust the people that are representing us, because that's what a republic is.
Mm-hmm.
And right now people are losing faith in both sides, and I don't know. It's going to be interesting. So, well, thank you again for joining. I will see you soon, and I'll have you on the show again.
Yeah.
And then say bye to the doggy too. It was good to see the pup.
Thank you for bearing with me, and I'll anticipate he'll want to live on it next time. And keep him
and your technical difficulties. All right.
Yeah.
Have an awesome night, Carolina. Thank you.
You too. Sweet dreams. Happy Valentine's Day.
And remember, West Dallas School Board, Carolina Dietrich.
That's me.
Talk to you soon. Bye. All right. So thank you, everybody, for joining me tonight. Tonight's a short show. I'm cutting it to an hour for the first time in a while, but got some things I need to do tonight yet. And the hour is upon us, where we must have our parting, and is such sweet sorrow. Roses are red, violets are blue. Where in the world did your mother get you? There's my, that explains why I'm still single. All right. Thank you all for coming on, and thank you for reminding me to look at the camera. I appreciate it. And just remember this: we control everything. We still control this country. They may think they do, but we do. And there's a lot we can do. Little by little, we will get through this. They're going to try throwing everything but the kitchen sink at us as far as gun regulations and free speech and stuff like that. But we can't be so focused on a single issue. It's a big picture here. Very much a big picture. They know it's like the third rail of politics, like Social Security and stuff like that. They know that touching the Second Amendment is not going to end well for them. They're gonna all get kicked out of office if they keep doing that. And then, we'll have 400 Republicans in the House of Representatives and that type of thing. And it's like, oh no, there's Bernie. Hi, Bernie. Say hi. I had wrong hand, but Bernie thought he'd chime in. Even Bernie likes guns, so I don't know that he supports that, because he comes from Vermont. Vermont actually has pretty open gun regulations out there, so they're pretty pro Second Amendment out there. But the Republicans need to realize that. Once again, I showed this a few times ago. The Trump voters are still the biggest kids on the block, the biggest block in the party, and they need to remember that. So stay well. Those of you who are in the Milwaukee area with the below zero temperatures right now, stay warm. And as always, stay sassy. Oh, I see some people get in there. Remember, get along well in there in my chat room. I'm looking at the chats right now, and Orlando, I always watch my tone with you. Now, stay awesome, everybody. Thank you for joining, and please pass word about the show. I'm on YouTube. I'm on Twitter. I'm on Gab. I was on Parler. I don't know what's happening with Parler. Hopefully that comes back. That was a good platform, and we'll see where everything goes. Have an awesome night, and remember, the power is with us. Talk to you soon. Bye.